Looks like another road trip kind of day. About 30-minute drive now.
30 minutes, exactly.
Yeah. And I have questions. I have questions I need answers to. I'm at this point where I've got a little bit of money to play with, but
You've got a good amount of money.
some money to play with, but what I end up doing is eating out all the time.
Okay.
And I don't do anything with it. Savings is not something, it's not my strong suit. Money just kind of falls out of my hands. So I remember you telling me just put it all in investments, then whatever's left you can play with that.
Yes.
That way I don't have to, because if I look at money in my savings, somehow I'll find an excuse to spend it.
Yes.
Plantation shutters from my apartment or a gimbal camera that we're recording this on,
Fair enough.
Never thought I'd be a vlogger, but here we are.
Fair enough.
So, what should I be doing with money I can play with?
Okay, so this is somewhat of a very personal take on savings in general. Saving for the sake of saving is just a complete waste of time. So by that I mean you have no goal, you've got money, you obviously spend less than you make, and you're just hoarding cash. You've got, you're saving money and it just sits there. I do think that is a waste of money, because if you have no goal, let's say you're putting it towards a down payment for a property or paying off a wedding, or even, you're saving up for a lifetime trip or something like that, that is at least respectable. Just saving for the sake of saving is a complete waste of time.
Or it's like our parents, they kind of drill this into you, save, because maybe that's what they did when they were trying to move to this country.
Yeah, but they had a goal, right? So they were like, oh, we saved to get money to bring our family over here, or we saving up for a deposit. I know a lot of people who have great jobs, great careers, frugal to the most part, and they spend less than what they make, and they're just hoarding cash. And they're not deploying it in investments. Like I would always say, if you're just hoarding cash, it's saving is for the weak. If you're just hoarding cash, at least if you can put it to work, that is a great priority. So, first step, if you can put it to work, investing it in something,
Make your money work for you.
Which is great. But even better than simply just hoarding cash is actually blow it. Go and buy the holiday. Go and buy the things that are going to make you happy. Like, that is at least a better outcome than just simply staring at a bank account, seeing numbers rack up and going, wow, great, that's awesome, but you have no goal to put it towards. I just think
doesn't everyone need to have some amount of liquid sitting somewhere for a rainy day?
But that's not savings. That's just a part of good financial management, that you have 3 to 6 months worth of cash available.
I'm still trying to get to rainy day fund money, I end up spending that as well.
But, you did something very smart. You bought an apartment and you have the equity and you have the cash against that equity in your account.
Yeah.
That is your rainy day fund.
I guess so, but you've told me very clearly I'm not allowed to touch it for anything.
You're not allowed to touch it for anything other than yourself.
So if I broke my leg, and I'm lucky to use that money, how much rain is a rainy day?
That's not...
No?
Yeah.
What if I need to hire a convertible on a holiday? What?
Is that going to be fine?
Oh yeah, it's still working really well. It's like, look at that, it's gone up to the right now.
Okay.
I understand that. So just having enough as a rainy day fund. But I guess for me, I need to make sure I'm investing enough so that I don't have too much lying around, because I will figure out ways to spend it. I think one of the things you told me to do was maximize super.
Yes, 100%. Obviously, I was a financial planner before, but I'm not anymore. But I can speak to the benefits of super. But 100%, speak to your advisor, speak to your accountant, and maximize your super contributions, because it is the only payment where you are getting a tax deduction for paying yourself. Like, where in the world can you say to the tax office, hey, I spent $1 on this thing for a tax deduction, but it is actually my own money, and you're just moving it from one hand to the other. You're just paying for future you. So future Sarish 25, 30 years from now is getting the benefit today, and you get a tax deduction today.
Look, I'm very financially dumb. So when you say the words tax deduction, it still sounds like gibberish to me. But the one thing that did blow my mind is when you went on Pay Calculator,
yep,
and you chucked in my salary, and you flicked on the little additional super fund,
yep,
and we keyed in a number of what you can put in. The number you put in that you additionally put into super was not the same number that deducted out of my after-tax income.
Exactly.
So what blew my mind was I put in X amount, but the after-tax salary effect that it hit me was not as much.
Exactly.
That made more sense to me.
Exactly.
So I reckon for people trying to figure out what is maximizing super mean, go on to Pay Calculator, put in your salary, and I reckon actually put in the number you're willing to put additionally per month, and watch how it affects your after-tax income by it's not that much.
100%.
It's not that much.
It's not that much, and it's still your money. Like,
It's still your money, yeah.
like the maximum you can put and claim that tax deduction a year is $30,000, which includes whatever money you're getting from your employer.
Yeah.
So let's say you're making $100,000 a year, your employer's putting in, 10 to 12 grand a year. You can put another $18,000 a year into super fund and get a tax deduction.
Yeah.
And I would say for most people, if you are investing or saving for a property or putting money aside, especially people that are like stock market junkies and they're like, oh, I'm putting $500 a month or something like that into a share portfolio, but they're not maximizing super, I'd be like, what is the point of doing that? Because if first maximize your super fund, because superannuation is shares fundamentally.
Yeah.
You're still buying shares. It's just that you're getting the benefit for future you, which might be 25, 30 years away.
Correct.
But who's to say your $500 a month share portfolio now isn't for future you for 25, 30 years from now anyway?
Correct, yeah.
So you may as well maximize super or, put money aside there. And then if you still have leftover savings, is when you start really thinking about doing those discretionary investments.
Okay. The other one you told me about was Vanguard.
Well, yeah. Well, Vanguard is 100% something that you can invest in.
Because someone like me that does not understand shares, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know ComSec, I don't know how to log on, I don't know how to drop money, and I don't know how to watch the charts. I don't know how to do any of that. So Vanguard was a very easy thing to do. So every month I put in a little bit, and every few days I just quickly jump in and see how that money's doing.
But here's what I'm saying to you right now. You're putting money into Vanguard. You're doing great. You're learning investments. That's great. But Vanguard is in super. It's basically the same thing. So I don't think you are maximizing your super contribution for this year, why don't you put that into super instead? Really? Of course. Like, you should be maximizing to 30 grand because it's the only...
But I'm treating Vanguard as my rainy day fund, so I can dip into that if I desperately need it.
You don't personally need to do that though, because you've got equity in the property.
Well, yeah, now I don't, but it's going to be gone soon when I look at something, when I look at another purchase. It's going to be severe.
Yeah, but you don't want a share portfolio to be your rainy day fund because one day Trump can tweak something and the whole thing's down to 1%.
See, I don't think about these things. I don't think about all of that. Okay, so you're telling me it's better to put into super than into an ETF like that?
If you have capacity in super and you don't need the money for 20 years.
Okay.
Like, if you need the money in the next 5 years or whatever, maybe it's better to put it in your stockbroking account. But, when I invest, especially in stockbroking or buying shares, whatever, this is like, I don't need the money. I just want to have exposure for future me anyway.
Yeah.
So let me first do it in super, take care of future me, and then I'll do it in my own name.
Okay. Well, see, I have maximized monthly, but I think you said that you can backdate up to 5 years.
Exactly.
I haven't done that.
I would 100% go speak to your super fund. They'll give you advice as to how much you can backdate.
Yeah.
And then you think about, hey, do I just want to drop 30 grand into super in 1 month this financial year and get a 30 grand tax deduction like that?
So I can backdate 5 years, but it'll be taken out of this year's.
Correct.
Okay, it'll be taken out of this year's income.
So again, you are obviously on better income now than where you were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And if you've only started doing salary sacrificing for super recently,
yeah,
bro, you might have a really, really strong case to do a massive contribution, get a massive tax refund, but it's still your money.
It's still your money.
And you can still buy property in super. Like, you're not far off from that goal either.
Yeah.
So your goal is to buy another property. You're not far off from having enough in super to do that in your personal super fund. It still gives you options that way.
Okay, maybe I should be looking into that.
I mean,
that might have me to do.
You don't have to look at it. I look into it for you.
Yeah. As my financial advisor. Hey, do you want people to be coming to you for financial advice?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm no longer licensed to be a financial advisor. But property advice, yes.
Is property better than any of these other?
And as I say, I did not lose my license. I just ended that direct.
Oh, okay.
So I still have the capability to go and get back my license, but you have to pay every year for it.
It's not in your interest anymore. Now it's different. Okay. Is stocks, super, and all of that a better investment than real estate?
No.
It's not.
It's not because of one thing, and that is leverage. So to put it simply, you went and had some money and you bought an apartment and it's gone up in value, right?
Yeah.
That growth was because you bought a $580,000 apartment, right?
Yeah.
And it went up in value.
Sure.
But let's say you didn't buy an apartment and you could only have that 20% deposit of 150 grand or whatever.
Yeah.
And you went and bought some shares.
Yeah.
Right? The size of the pie is much smaller. So for every $1 invested in the share market, you can put $5 to work in the property market.
Gotcha. So you'll do better in real estate with the same amount of money instead of stocks.
Because you can borrow.
Because
your exposure to the investment is higher. So $1 in the share market is only $1 in the share market. But $1 in property is actually $5 because it's $1 of your money and $4 of the bank's money. But you get all of the upside.
Gotcha.
So from that perspective,
That's what you mean by leverage.
by leverage, because they're using the bank's money, the remaining $4, and to have $5 worth of assets.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, over the last 80 years, you can go to the Vanguard website, they do this analysis every year. Over the last 80 years, the share market has done about 7.5% to 8% a year. The property market, the residential property market, has done 6.8% a year. So it's not far off. And you kind of go, hey, if I have $1 in the share market growing at 7, and $1 in the property market growing at 6.8,
Correct.
but I get 5 times as much exposure in the property market, you can grow your wealth 5 times.
So I never understood what you meant by leverage, but now I get what you mean, because you're only putting a 20% deposit on a 100% purchase or whatever it is, and it's the bank's money on the rest of it, but you're enjoying the fruits of it. And
the whole thing is yours.
Yeah, gotcha.
And, if everyone says, oh, Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in the world. Absolutely. Like when you're playing with trillions of dollars worth of capital, you kind of have to be really smart and make really smart decisions. But when you're at our level and you're able to only buy $500 to $1 million houses, you can outperform Warren Buffett by buying at a good market. You buy a $500,000 house on, with a $100,000 deposit. If that $500,000 house goes up by 10%, so that's $50,000, 50 grand. But you've only put in 100 grand, but your return on your 100 grand is how much?
50 grand.
50% of it, exactly. So which is better, 10% return?
Exactly, or 50% return,
So you're growing at 5 times the rate of the stock market.
Yeah.
And most fund managers, like hedge fund managers, they can't even beat the market.
Correct.
Right? So you kind of go, hey, I can, put it into a property that I could see, I could use. One day I might be able to rent in it or live in it. Or I might be able to add forced value by doing a mini renovation.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. You did a mini renovation. You got a bit more equity out.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with the share portfolios. That's
I can't do anything to it to increase it more.
And this might be something coming from the experience of working at a big investment bank with people that came to me with $5-10 million worth of money to invest. At that level, share markets kind of make sense because it's more of a stress-free thing. You're not going to have it, tenants calling up saying my plumbing is not working, can you get it fixed? At that point, you kind of go, you know what, let me just park $5 million in a Vanguard and just take my 7%, whoop-de-doo, no issues at all. But to be blunt, if you have a 100 grand share portfolio going at 10 grand a year, like whatever, go do Uber, you will make more money.
You'll make more money.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you can put that 100 grand to work in a property portfolio, that's 50 grand.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be working almost full-time Uber to make that kind of money.
Gotcha.
So it's like why you have to be using leverage when you are early on in your journey. And that's why rich people go to investment banks and just invest in the share market. They don't need to take leverage because they don't need to take that risk.
You don't need the leverage. Okay, gotcha. They don't need to take that risk. I asked you another question today, which you tried to explain. I was like, when do I get to enjoy the benefits of having an apartment or having an investment soon? When do I get to enjoy that? Like, I want to buy a fancy car. I want a convertible. I want to do that. When can I do it? It seems like a little equity that I had now, you're now dropping me into another house.
We know a mate who bought a fancy convertible classic car for $5 grand. So to tell me how much you want to spend on this thing.
Well, I want to spend a little bit, I want like a BMW Z4, something like that.
So 50, 60 grand. Yeah. Okay.
When do I get to do that? You're taking my equity and putting it into another house now.
Yeah, but then you're going to be...
Z4 just went further away.
Yeah, I mean, now again, this is me forcing this habit of long-term investing onto you.
Yeah.
And I think I have a bit more sway doing that because you are family. Yeah. If you were someone else, I'd be like, if you really like the car, just go buy the car.
Yeah.
But I can kind of force this on you because I think it's the right prudent thing to do.
Correct. I want to do the right thing. I do. I want to do that.
Yeah, right? So yes, okay, you want to buy a 60 grand car.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to make you happy, of course.
Correct.
Right. Now, you've done this already before. You bought your dream car.
I did, yes.
Tell me about that story and, what.
So it was almost 2 years after owning the property I have now. My salary went up a tiny bit, so I was able to afford financing a car. So on a ridiculous interest rate of almost, I think, 7 or 8%, I bought a 60 grand Jeep Wrangler.
Yep.
And yeah, it did drive me out. Any leftover money I had went into the car, fuel and whatever else. But I was happy I bought the car I wanted.
And when did you buy it?
I bought it 2 years ago.
And what did you do the year before that?
Nothing. I was driving...
No, you bought your house.
Oh, I thought about the house, yeah.
Exactly. So you bought some assets, you had some stuff
okay.
for you.
But it's not like the house did it for me. I stupidly financed.
You might have stupidly financed it, sure,
Yeah.
but in the position that you are now,
Yeah.
it's allowed you to enjoy a car, right? The asset has gone up in value.
Correct.
And you're in the position to buy another investment property.
Yeah.
Like most people I know would go, you know what, fuck it, let me just go and get 100 grand car and finance that. And 5 years later, they're like, oh, all I have is this car that's now worth 30 grand. Yeah, a house. So like, yes, I would still say, what you did before, even with the financing thing, was perfectly fine. But here's the other thing that I would also add to the mix. How long were you waiting for that Wrangler?
Oh, I've been wanting it for a long time.
It was a genuine dream.
It was a desire I wanted for a long time.
Like, it was on your thing. It was on your phone.
Yeah. Well, the wallpaper, yeah.
Yeah. So now I would ask you, what is on your phone wallpaper today?
It's that Porsche 718 Spider we sat in.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly. So now, would you rather get a 60 grand, sure, it's a full car, some BMW, whatever.
Yeah.
But
No, it's not the Porsche.
But is it your dream?
Like, yes, it's not. I'd rather have...
Okay, so now the question is, what would you rather do? Sacrifice a little bit, do the same thing that you did, get another house, get it working for you. Obviously your career is doing better, it's getting better. But would you rather sacrifice 2 or 3 years, maybe driving a regular car, and then 2 or 3 years from now going, you know what? Fuck it, I can actually go straight for a Porsche.
Yeah, I would rather do that. I don't mind waiting 2 or 3 years and then actually going straight to the Porsche.
Exactly. So like that is how I would play. Like me personally, I've never bought cars that, broadly speaking, and you say it because you it's like show off cars. Like you're not buying the BMW because you enjoy it.
Yeah, no.
You're buying it
people look at me.
you want people to look at you and like sure, like it's a cool car.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I'm very happy to be driving a basic family car until I can level up to the car that I really want. And before I bought this Lotus, I was driving a shitbox Honda Accord. I'm trying to say shitbox, it's a very nice car.
It's a lovely car, but it's not the car you want
A
to.
regular car, I'm like, you know what, I don't really care what other people think. I'm not going to go and spend 40, 50 grand on some borderline luxurious car that I don't really care about. I'd rather go straight to dream. Sure. And I would push the same thing on you. I'd be like, sure, you can go out and get this 50, 60 grand car, but is it really a dream?
Is it really my dream? No, it's not. I'd rather have that Porsche I really want. I got to figure out what my dreams are and learn how to get to and make smart decisions. Take it easy, guys.
Bye-bye.